Hello, 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 everyone who is joining us in the Beaver Week. I am so excited to be one of the guest speakers and extremely honored that Megan has invited me into this week to share one of my biggest passions with you guys, which is all about starting to identify how we can start to use one of the most simplest tools that we have access to every single day as a really key pillar and foundation to not only optimize our health and well-being, but also enhance our weight loss journey. So I'm going to bring up a presentation that I have created for all of you guys this afternoon. And hello to everyone who is in New Zealand and hello to everyone who is in Australia. It's amazing to be here. Let me just share this here. So today we're going to be speaking about the foundational breathwork tools to enhance our weight loss journey. And I know that a lot of you, especially in Bulk and Steel, and are on this transformational journey, have improved your health and wellness through going to the gym and working with Megan and all the other amazing coaches. And so I'm really, really excited to start to teach you guys how you can really enhance your breath to support your weight loss journey. So there's a quote here that I love, which is all about breathing is the greatest pleasure in life. And this is so, so true and tangible for every area of our life. So our breath is, honestly, we have access to it every single day. And something that I speak to all of my clients about is there is no finish line. And so the biggest thing that we can start to do for our journey now and our health and our well-being is starting to cultivate our awareness of our breath to bring us back to the present moment. In today's presentation, I'm going to be showing you guys some really simple, tangible steps on how you can start to enhance your weight loss journey starting today. The power of breath, by firstly going over my personal journey and why I am so passionate about breath. What your current breathing pattern is, which we're going to really identify how you are breathing right now in everyday life. Then we're going to move into how you can start to shift the way you breathe to really support and enhance you in shifting that weight. And I'm going to be speaking about a really, really simple topic, less is more. And finally, we're going to go into creating some really effective eating habits and how we can start to weave in the breath work and how we're breathing into supporting our eating habits and how we can support our digestive system, and to really set you guys up for success so that you can walk away from this presentation with some really tangible action steps on what you can start to do now in supporting your weight loss journey. So a little bit about me. My name is Sara Allen. I am born in Gladstone, live on the Sunshine Coast, and I have been in the health and fitness industry for the last 8 years. I first started out as a personal trainer when I was very young, when I was 18. And in the top left-hand corner here, you'll see all these excited people. I used to run boot camps and my own personal training business. Very typical personal training style, no pain, no gain, you know, like really forcing your body to the limits, which is absolutely amazing. And it certainly does get results. But what I started to learn as I started to study my clients' results is that my clients were getting amazing weight loss results, but then they would put the weight back on as soon as we stopped working together. And so what I started to see is this pattern of stress, anxiety, and a lot of things that were actually going on in the undercurrent behind the scenes. And what I started to learn and observe is that someone can look extremely healthy on the outside, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we're always as healthy on the inside. And so this is where I started to study yoga. And in the bottom left-hand corner here, I started to teach yoga, meditation, and start running women's wellness retreats, where I started to see that clients were not only starting to lose weight and feel amazing, but it was becoming tangible in a way of the results were staying, and they were starting to feel more connected to their body. They were starting to understand the importance of and the power of breathing efficiently. and moving their body in a way that felt good as well. So what I've really come to learn on my health and fitness journey is that breath and movement is truly our medicine. And Megan spoke about this in her video that I watched in this Be Well week in the Vulcan Games. And breath and movement is truly our medicine. We have access to this amazing pillar every single day. And a lot of us can be breathing unconsciously. And so it's my why is starting to really educate people in the health and fitness industry and educate everyone who is wanting these sustainable results, especially in weight loss, more energy, more focus, and educating you guys on how important it is to start to breathe efficiently and that it's so simple. I've also understood that being here now is the best gift that we have. And the more that we breathe and we connect to our breath, the more that we can enhance our productivity, the more that we can enhance our motivation, the more that we start to understand how our body wants to move, and the more that we're going to support our body in detoxing away all those nasties simply by breathing efficiently. So this is some of the key things that I'm going to start to teach you guys in the upcoming slides. And the last thing that I really learned along my journey is anxiety is a signal from our body. And so quickly just sharing that from my personal journey, I have experienced panic attacks, chronic anxiety, and mental health challenges. And for me, breathwork, meditation, and learning how to weave that through my movement has supported my journey and my clients' journey significantly. So I'm super excited to share with you guys what I've been studying and supporting my clients with today. So first thing I want to speak about is identifying what is your current breathing pattern. So what I mean by this is a lot of society, about 80 to 90% of society, we're actually breathing into our chest. And what we want to start to do is train the body to start to breathe down into the belly. Now, what is the difference between chest breathing and belly breathing? When we're chest breathing, we are predominantly going to be in our sympathetic system, which is our sympathetic nervous system. Now, our sympathetic nervous system is when we're in that fight or flight response. This can be when we're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, when we're feeling on edge, shaky, really shortness of breath. And what we want to start to introduce is breathing into the belly, which is going to enhance our parasympathetic nervous system. Now, our parasympathetic nervous system is when we start to access that rest and digest. And why I'm sharing this with you guys is because this is going to enhance your weight loss journey. Because the more that we are in a safety zone in our nervous system, which I call the parasympathetic state, the more that we're in that rest and digest. What this means is that the food that we're eating is able to be digested more efficiently. It means that we have less brain fog, and it means that we're going to be more efficient and more aware of our surroundings. Whereas when we're constantly in that sympathetic state, it's more this fight or flight response. This is where anxiety may start to be formed. This is where our hormones may start to fluctuate. And this isn't to say that we don't want to access the sympathetic nervous system, because this is extremely effective when we are a when we are a high performance athlete, or if we're doing a high intensity training session, we're naturally going to be in the sympathetic state. However, what I've learned in my studies and what studies are showing today is that majority of society are operating almost 90 to 95% of the time in a sympathetic state. So what we want to start to do is decrease that and start to show up in our life from a parasympathetic state. Now, how do we start to do this? Well, I want to do a test with you guys first before I go into the next slide to bring your awareness to how you're breathing right now, because we're unable to change something without being aware of it first. So what I want you to do, if you're watching this presentation with me, thank you for being here, is I want you to place one hand on top of your chest. So we'll put your right hand on top of your chest. That's great. And I want you to put your left hand on your belly for me. Perfect. So now I just want you to close your eyes, or you can keep them open. And I would love for you to take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just breathing how you would normally breathe. I don't want you to change anything at the moment. Just purely breathe how you would normally breathe. Now that you're being aware of your breath, I would love for you to bring your awareness to which hand is raising first when you breathe in. Is it your top hand that is placed on your chest, or is it your bottom hand that's placed on your belly? Which hand raises first when you take a deep breath in? It may be both of them are raising. It may be your top hand, it may be your bottom. So why I've gotten you to do this is it's starting to bring your awareness into your body. And the more awareness that we have, the more that we can start to cultivate and create this exciting change in our life to enhance our health and support us in our weight loss journey. So if you are predominantly breathing in your chest, amazing. If you're predominantly breathing in your belly, amazing. What this is telling me is that we're starting to create awareness for you now so that we can start to create change. So what I'm going to teach you now is a really simple breath that you can start to do at any moment. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to be giving you super tangible steps moving forward so that this is a no-brainer, so that you can start to enhance your health, so that you can start to increase your energy, your productivity, and really start to implement these proven steps to support you on your weight loss journey. So the first one is belly breathing. It's good for you. Give belly breathing a go to calm your mind and body. What I just spoke you through then was to bring you awareness around how you are breathing. So now what we're going to start to do is we're going to start to breathe in through the nose. And I would love to challenge you for the rest of this presentation to be mindful of your breathing, to be mindful of how you are breathing. And I'm going to start to explain why this is so important. You may be thinking, but I still don't understand, Saran, why does my breath have anything to do with my weight loss journey? We're getting there in a moment. So with your breathing in through the nose, and we want to place the hands on the belly, just like this beautiful lady here. She has her hand down on the bottom of her belly or her puku. So when we breathe in through the nose, we want to send the breath down into the hand and press the belly out. And as we exhale through the mouth, we want to feel the belly deflate. How I coach my kids is we want to breathe into the balloon, into the bottom of the belly. And when we exhale, I want to see that balloon deflate if you're extremely visual like I am. This is a really, really simple diagram that you guys can take a photo of if you want. And what this is going to do is it's going to show you where to place your hand on your belly and your chest. It's explaining to take a breath, feeling your stomach move outward. And it's explaining to breathe out slowly where you press your stomach slightly back into your spine. And so how this is going to support you in your weight loss journey, we really want to start to shift the way you breathe to shift the weight. So some of the really effective, simple tools that we can start to do to support you in your health and wellness journey is breathing in through the nose, is starting to incorporate a practice called mindful breathing, and introducing healthier eating habits. So what are the benefits of belly breathing and mindful breathing? 70% of toxins are released simply by breathing properly. So when we are starting to enhance the way that we breathe, it's supporting our immune system, it's supporting our bodily functions, and it's supporting us in accessing any waste that is laying debris in the body. And so what this is going to do is it's going to start to support our body to work more optimally. It also relieves emotional distress. And where this is starting to tie in to where it can support us on our health and well-being journey and supporting us in our weight loss journey is because a lot of the time we can be quite stressed. Do you not agree? A lot of the time we can go to work and we can get overwhelmed. We can come home and we've got all this stuff to do. And a lot of the time we forget to breathe consciously. And so what do? We go for foods in the cupboard, we sit down and watch a movie, we stay stagnant, our body stops moving. When our body stops moving, we start to eat more and the weight starts to go on. So where we start to see that the efficiency of breath start to enhance our health and well-being journey is because it's going to start to support our nervous system when we start to introduce these healthy habits of breathing. It also supports us to elevate our mood. Breathing increases pleasure-inducing chemicals. A lot of the time when we're feeling like we want... A lot of the time, what I found is when we come home from work, the first thing that we want to do is we go to the cupboard and we grab something to eat. And subconsciously, this is because we want to release that dopamine hormone, which is that feel-good emotion. We can actually get this from taking a deep breath. And in this presentation, you're going to hear me speak a lot about keeping it simple. And when we purely just come back to the sensations in the moment of the breath, from there, we start to create more presence in our life so that then we can start to create more actions from a clear head, from an understanding of what it is that our body is wanting, to start to increase mindful eating and to really support us in our training and enhance our training, because we're going to be providing our body with enough oxygen to allow us to strive towards our health and wellness goals. And so where this starts to come into our eating habits is when we start to breathe deeply, is it calms down our nervous system. So when we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, it's triggering our parasympathetic nervous system, which is what I spoke from a few slides back. And this really allows us to tap more into that rest and digest. So how many times have you found, or you can observe when you come home from work, or you've come home from a really busy day, and you're rushing to cook dinner, or you sit down and have dinner and your mind may be a million other places, or you're thinking about the next thing to do. We are so blessed to have the opportunity and to have access to clean food. And we are so blessed to have access to be able to sit down at a dinner table, either whether it's just ourselves or our family members. And so what actually happens when we're eating, when we go to consume food and our body is in that fight or flight response, that sympathetic nervous system, is the blood is actually being restricted and sent away from the internal organs and the digestive system, and it's being pumped more up into the heart because we're in that fight or flight response. And the fight or flight response is our survival mechanism. It's what our body naturally taps into hundreds of years ago when we used to live out on the land and there was a threat or a tiger and we would have to run away. The blood moves away from the organs, the blood moves away from the digestive system into the other parts of the body to support us in surviving. And so what we want to start to do is we want to start to create effective eating habits in becoming aware of the breath when we sit down to eat food at the dinner table, when we have breakfast, we've just woken up in the morning, any meal throughout the day, is we want to become aware of your breath. Next thing is we want to do our centering breath before we eat. Now, this is one of the tangible foundational tools that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in a few slides from now. And what this is going to do is it's going to support the digestion of your food. So becoming aware of the breath, taking a centering breath before you eat, and this is going to support the digestion of your food because it's allowing us to tap back into the parasympathetic state, which is our rest and digest. So it's going to allow our food to move into the different parts of the body that it is. It's going to truly allow our body to be nourished. Now, there's a quote here that I put on here that I learned from a couple of my mentors a few years ago. And it says, how we do one thing is how we do most things. What does this mean? Well, basically, how we do one thing is how we do most things. Everything is always touching everything. So if we're eating super quickly, unconsciously, then we're naturally going to be doing most of the things in our life really quickly. If we're breathing really quickly and shallowly, then we're probably going to be moving around our life quite breathless and unconscious. So when we start to bring more awareness to how we're breathing, and we start to take a breath, we start to slow down, we start to create more mindfulness in our life, and we start to support our nervous system and tapping more into the parasympathetic state, is it's going to create safety in our nervous system so that we start to not be in that survival state, and that our body feels safe enough to start to release the weight that we have been holding on to. Because what can happen is when we're in that survival stage of fight or flight, is our body will actually hold on to unnecessary or excess body fat, thinking that I need to hold on to this body fat because I don't know when I'm next going to get food, because I might die, so I need to hold on to this to survive. Do you see how this is now starting to play and create that ripple effect into when we are breathing into the chest, we are triggering our sympathetic nervous system, which is then putting our hormones out of balance and sending a signal to our brain that we're not safe. Our nervous system is in overdrive. So I'm going to be in survival mode and I'm going to hold on to this excess or body fat and store this. So how we can start to shift this is bringing awareness to our breath and introducing these really simple foundational tools, which I'm going to teach you. Less is more, guys. So now that I've started to speak about the nervous system, I want to speak more in the importance of what it truly means to give your nervous system a break. So what I mean by this is our nervous system is huge. It goes for a very long time throughout our body, and it's really, really important that we create an environment, which I wrote down here. Environment is everything. We create an environment surrounding us to support us in our health and wellness goals. So we want to start to notice who we are surrounding ourselves with. We want to start to notice what it is that we're consuming, whether it be food, whether it be conversations from people outside of us, whether it be the news and the media, what are we listening to on the radio? So all of these external factors actually play a really massive role in our nervous system, which can be fueling the fire of an already heightened sympathetic nervous system that we may be living in. So as I start to speak and explain this to you guys, please let me know if you have any questions. And please know if you have any questions at all as well, you can reach out to me after this presentation, and I'm more than happy to jump on a call with you and support you with calming down your nervous system. So what we want to start to create is safety in our nervous system and safety in our environment. And one of the quickest ways that we can do this is bringing awareness to our breath, is bringing awareness to how we're breathing. Are we breathing into our chest? Are we breathing into our belly? And one of the simplest action steps that we can take from here with this newfound awareness is starting to rewire how we are breathing, knowing that less is more. And this goes against what we have been taught in society, how we have to push, how we have to force, how we have to really work hard. Whereas when we come back to the simplicity of the breath and we come back to the simplicity of breathing through the nose, is it's going to start to support our nervous system to more move into the parasympathetic state. Keep it simple, guys. So now I'm going to teach you some really simple pillars that you can start to action from this point forward. Mindful breathing is a constant practice. Conscious breathing is a constant practice. You may be thinking, I'm already breathing. Soon I'm going to take you through an exercise where I'm going to get you to become aware of how you're breathing now, how you feel, and then how you feel after I take you through this exercise. And this is going to give you a reference point in your body for how you can start to create safety and slowness and ease in your nervous system to support you with overwhelm, anxiety, to enhance your energy, and also allow your nervous system to be more in that parasympathetic state so that we can start to increase our effective eating habits, allow our food to digest with more ease, and also support us in our training to increase our strength, to enhance our weight loss, because we're starting to breathe more efficiently. So the first key pillar here is a nasal breath. So a nasal breath is where we are purely breathing in and out of the nose. And we want to be breathing in for 4 seconds and out for 4 seconds in a continuous cycle. So this style of breath work is extremely effective at any point throughout the day. The nose is directly associated to the parasympathetic nervous system, and the mouth is directly associated to the sympathetic nervous system. So when we breathe in through the nose, it's supporting our nervous system in creating that safety and that slowness. It's supporting our body to come more into the rest and digest. And it's going to enhance our energy. It's going to create our productivity. And it's also extremely effective to implement nasal breathing when you're training in the gym. Because naturally, when we're exercising, we mouth breathe, right? And this is super effective, again, if you're a high performance athlete, if you're doing a high intensity training session, or if you're running. But what we want to start to do is we want to start to see and challenge ourselves. Next time you go to the gym, I'm going to nasal breathe for 5 minutes. I'm going to breathe in and out of my nose on this squatting exercise. And just notice instantly it will be more challenging, but this is going to increase your lung capacity and your active recovery rate as well. The second pillar is your centering breath. So as you can see here, your nasal breath is where we inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4. Then we have your centering breath. So this is a breath that I'm going to teach you right now. And this is an incredible foundational tool that you can use at any point and during your day. We have it's also called a triangle breath, if that can jig your memory with more ease. So what a centering breath looks like is we're going to inhale 2, 3, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's in for 3, hold for 4, exhale for 6. And what this is doing is at any point where we're exhaling longer than the inhale, is it's going to enhance our parasympathetic nervous system, and it's going to enhance that softness. It's going to increase our calmness and ease, increase clarity as well. This is a really, really good breath to do before you're going to sleep. And it's a really, really amazing breath to center yourself. So at any time throughout the day, if you're at work, if you're on the phone quite a lot, or you're experiencing quite a lot of stress or overwhelm in your life, I would strongly urge that you incorporate the centering breath. Sorry for the noise, guys. And what I actually get my clients to do with this is to set yourself an alarm. Set yourself 4 to 5 alarms on your phone throughout the day and label it centering breath. And so what this is doing is, it's all well and good to start to have the knowledge of what we can start to do to enhance our health. But what we want to do is we want to start to take action to create change. So with this, set your phone alarm 5 times throughout the day. Let's say 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 6 p.m. And every time that alarm goes off and it shares with you centering breath, thanks, Kate. The centering breath alarm is amazing. Every time that centering breath alarm goes off, is you are going to breathe in for 3, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. And over time, what this is going to do is it's going to start to create new neurological pathways in your brain that is going to support and create this new effective habit. And as we start to breathe more efficiently, it's going to naturally start to create more safety in our nervous system. It's going to trigger our parasympathetic response, which is going to bring us more into our rest and digest, which is going to create more calmness and ease. And it's going to support us in our weight loss journey, because our body isn't going to be in that survival state. And the last one is my favorite, is a box breath. I know some of you probably know this from when I used to teach yoga, and Megan and I were facilitating the breathwork journeys last year. Box breathing is extremely popular, and this is amazing to do with your eyes closed. And it's incredible to do for 10 rounds is what I usually recommend. However, even just 1 round of box breath, you're going to notice a significant difference in how you are feeling. So the box breath is inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and rest for 4 seconds, which is holding. And we're going to repeat this over and over and over again. So what this is doing on the actual hold of the box breath is this is allowing our body and our mind to enter a state of stillness. And when we enter that state of stillness, it's extremely effective at supporting our body to do what the body wants to do. It creates space for the body to go through a state of healing. A lot of the time, when we're on our weight loss journey, we can have all the things to do, which can create even more overwhelm. A lot of the time, less is more. Going for a walk, incorporating box breathing, going for a walk, incorporating your mindful centering breath. This in itself is going to put your body into a parasympathetic state. And you're still moving your body, which is increasing your heart rate, which is increasing your metabolism, which is going to support you in your fat burning process because you're naturally in that low, steady state of exercise. So I hope that we can start to see and understand that breath is the foundational pillar of our health and wellness journey. If we're not breathing efficiently, it's like, if we're going to build a house, we're not going to build a house on rocky ground. We need to make sure that we create that stable foundation. We've got efficient concrete, and then from there, we've got a stable base and a foundation and a frame. We don't put the roof of the house before we create the concrete. It's like we don't go and train at the gym 100 miles an hour before we've learned how to breathe efficiently. Whereas a lot of the time, and what we've been taught in the health and fitness industry, and on any journey, is we want to go to the gym straight away and we want to push ourselves as hard as we possibly can. But if we're already in that state of our sympathetic and our body is already in that fight or flight response, our stresses are already burning, the fire is already stoked, and we don't want to be putting more fuel into the fire. We actually want to start to bring in more water to start to put out that fire, which is taking a few steps back, teaching our body the power of breath, introducing some sort of mindful breathing practice, which can literally be 1 minute a day. And then that's going to create that compound effect for your parasympathetic nervous system to create safety, so that then you can go back into the gym and introduce this breathing modality, which is going to support you in your health and wellness journey. And if you're a high performance athlete, or you're someone who is also wanting to increase your stamina and increase your strength in the gym, introduce your nasal breathing. It's going to really put a lot of pressure on your lungs, and it's going to allow your active recovery rate to go through the roof as well. So with that, I've given you guys a lot of information and a lot of tools and tricks and tangible foundational pieces to really start to get you on the way with your weight loss journey, with your health and wellness journey. But the biggest thing that is important for me is to allow you to experience it for yourself. So we're going to breathe. We're going to consciously breathe together, and I'm going to guide you all through a box breathing modality. We're going to do 10 rounds of box breath, and I'm going to put some music on and I'm going to guide you guys through this breath. If I can put the music on. You share. Alrighty, so we have just gone through all of the really simple 3 key pillars with our breath. And now it is your time to experience it for yourself. So I'd love for you to find a comfortable position. You can either sit upright where you are, or you can lay down. You can keep your eyes open, or you can keep your eyes closed. My suggestion to get the full experience of this box breathing guided breathwork is to close your eyes. So we're going to begin with placing one hand on your belly. At the beginning of the presentation, I taught you guys the power of belly breathing. Now we're going to practice that. So please close down your eyes, placing your hand on your belly. and taking your first breath in through the nose, feeling the belly rise, and we're going to breathe out through the mouth. And again, taking a nice gentle breath in through the nose, feeling the belly expand and allowing the breath to exit through the mouth. Final breath here, breathing in deep, feeling the belly rise up into the chest, and a slow exhale as you allow your body to completely let go. On our next inhale, we're going to breathe in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Well done. Inhale through the nose. 3, 4. Hold your breath. 3, 4. Let it go. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. That's right. Inhale into the belly. Holding at the top. Let it go. And hold. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2 more rounds. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. Final round. Deep breath into the belly. Hold your breath. Notice the stillness. Let it go. And hold. Beautiful. And now just returning back to your regular breath. And as you return back to your normal breath, I invite you to notice how your body is feeling. Start to notice how you're feeling now compared to how you may have felt before we started the box breath. I also want you to notice if that was really uncomfortable for you. Notice, excuse me, where your mind went. Notice what thoughts may have been present when you came down to move through the box breath. If that was really easy or quite challenging for you, or if you think that it's absolutely silly and you never want to do it again. Just notice, because the more that we start to become the observer of our thoughts, and the more that we start to become the observer of our self-talk, then we can start to improve the way that we're speaking to ourselves, and we can start to become our own cheerleader and really enhance our motivation. So that was a really simple breathing technique, guys, the box breath. And where you can do this is you can do this in the morning, at nighttime, and during the day. I would suggest that you don't do this when you're driving. It's more a style of breath work that does take a little bit more time. However, you can still do this at any point as well. So a few key takeaways from today is to remember that the breath is your medicine and that your body knows best. So we have access to fresh air 24/7. Our body knows what to do when we create that safe environment for our body to tap back into the parasympathetic nervous system, and when we create that safety in our environment. When we truly allow ourselves to connect deeper to what it is that is going to support our body. What is it that my body is needing right now? And how can I breathe more deeply? How can I really enhance my breathing to support my health and fitness goals? How can I incorporate this breath into supporting my digestive system in digesting the nutrients of the meal more efficiently? How can I breathe more efficiently to support my stress and anxiety levels? Keep it simple. The 3 key breaths that I taught you guys was the nasal breath. In for 4, out for 4. The second one was your centering breath. Breathing into the belly, in through the nose for 3, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale through the mouth for 6. The last one was the box breath. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. And remember, guys, it's a daily practice. It takes at least 21 days for us to start to form a new effective habit. So the biggest thing that I can get you guys to do and suggest for you to do is grab your phone right now, or grab your water bottle and you can actually write the word breathe on your water bottle. So what this does is every time you take a sip of water, this is also supporting your hydration levels as well, is you want to take a centering breath. Every time your alarm goes off throughout those 5 times throughout the day at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 6 p.m., it's going to remind you to take a conscious breath. And this may seem so simple, but it's the simplest things in life that really create those long-lasting changes. Health is simple. Weight loss doesn't need to be challenging. We get to make it easy the more that we come back to the power of our breath, the more that we come back to these efficient breathing tools and foundational pieces, is it's going to create more connection with not only yourself, but your environment around you, which is going to enhance your awareness, and it's going to increase your motivation to start to improve the choices on your food, on how you move your body. Because the more that we start to breathe deeply and the more that we start to breathe efficiently, it's just going to release those pleasure-inducing hormones, which is going to start to make us feel good. When we start to feel good, we want to do more of the thing that's making us feel good. So this is a great cred I wanted to share with you guys as well, is when the mind and body is agitated, change the pattern of the breath. At any moment, we have a choice to change how we're breathing. The tools that I've given you guys today are super simple, super tangible. Now it is up to you to start to create and implement these super effective ways of breathing. So what now? If you have any questions, please let me know. I do offer one-on-one breathwork coaching. If you do desire any more support, please reach out to Megan or myself, and I can support you with enhancing and supporting your nervous system and creating more safety to support you on your health and wellness journey. And the biggest takeaway that I want to give you guys is breathe. Take a deep breath. It really is that simple. And a lot of us aren't aware of how we are breathing. And so I hope that that exercise at the very start of the presentation supported you in learning the power of breathing into the belly, into that diaphragm breath versus the chest breath. And the last thing is action changes everything. So I'd love for you to start to think about what is one thing you are committed to implementing moving forward that you have learned from today's presentation. Just one thing. We get to keep it super simple. It may be the phone alarm. It may be the breath on the water bottle. It may be introducing a centering breath before you have dinner tonight. What is one thing that you are committed to doing moving forward from today's presentation? And I'd love for you to share in the Vulcan Steel Facebook group, share with an accountability buddy, send me a message. Accountability is everything. Know that you are not on this journey alone. And the more that you start to identify and become aware of how you breathe, and I can 100% guarantee that from this newfound awareness, you'll start to notice little things in how you're breathing. And this one tool and this one foundation will create ripples in your health and wellness journey. So thank you for coming, guys. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. And please reach out as well if you need any support. So I'm going to leave it there. And I'm not too sure where I would find out where the questions are because I can't see the Facebook group.